All right, so today we're diving deep into something truly special. The Morocco national team's journey at the 2022 World Cup. And trust me, this goes way beyond just the final score.
Yeah, it's a story that really captured global attention. And for reasons that go way deeper than sports. We've got a fascinating mix of sources for this deep dive. We've got match analyses, economic reports, and even personal stories from Morocco and beyond.
Wow, I'm ready to be swept away. From what I've seen, the Atlas Lions didn't just win games. They ignited this wave of hope and pride, and it just rippled across continents.
Absolutely. Morocco's performance was historic.
Yeah.
They became the first African team to ever reach the World Cup semifinals.
Yeah, I mean...
Think about that for a second. They didn't just break a barrier, they shattered it.
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, one account that really stuck with me was a description of a cafe in Casablanca just erupting in celebration. It just paints such a vivid picture of how this team's success transcended the pitch and really touching the lives of everyday people.
Yeah, it really shows the power of sport to unite and inspire. But this wasn't just blind luck or a feel-good story. There was some serious calculated brilliance behind Morocco's run, and a lot of that can be attributed to their coach, Walid Regragui.
Oh, yeah, he was appointed just months before the tournament, right? I mean, you have to wonder what it was like stepping into that role with that weight of expectations on his shoulders.
It's fascinating, you know. You look at it from the lens of leadership. Regragui really instilled this belief in the team that they could compete with anyone, even giants like Spain and Portugal. That mental shift, that unshakable confidence was absolutely crucial.
I remember reading this quote from Regragui, and he said, "We can dream. Why shouldn't we dream about winning the World Cup?"
Yeah.
And that's just the kind of audacity that sets the stage for greatness.
Totally. But it wasn't just dreaming. Regragui backed it up with his tactical system. That really played to Morocco's strengths.
Oh.
So let's dive into their defensive strategy. That's where things get really interesting.
Okay, yeah, from what I gathered, it was more than just that typical park the bus approach.
Yeah.
You know, this wasn't about brute force. It was a masterclass in discipline and organized teamwork.
Exactly. They didn't rely on individual stars. What they did was they created this defensive structure that was so difficult to break down. So think of it as like a low block system. Very compact, disciplined, and it just forced opponents to play wide, which limited their chances in those really dangerous areas.
And at the heart of that defensive wall was goalkeeper Yassine Bounou. I mean, his saves, especially in that penalty shootout against Spain, were absolutely crucial.
Oh, yeah. Bounou wasn't just a shot stopper. He was a leader back there, organized the defense, commanded his area, and really instilled a sense of calm, even under immense pressure.
Right. But a great defense can only take you so far, right? I mean, you need that spark of brilliance in attack to turn those defensive stands into victories.
Exactly. And that's where players like Hakim Ziyech and Achraf Hakimi come in.
Yeah.
So Ziyech, playing as that attacking midfielder, he was like the creative engine for Morocco. He's known for those precise passes and just that ability to unlock defenses. And we saw that on full display throughout the entire tournament.
Yeah, his free kick against Canada, it was just a thing of beauty. The way he bent that ball into the top corner. I mean, the keeper had absolutely no chance. So do you think moments like that really contributed to like the widespread support that Morocco received? I mean, even from fans outside the country.
Absolutely. Those flashes of individual brilliance, they were captivating. But what really resonated, I think, was the team spirit. There's this quote from Hakimi that really stayed with me. He said, "We play for our people, our country. We want to make them happy, make them proud of their team."
Yeah, that's powerful. It goes way beyond the sport itself. It speaks to a deeper sense of identity, like representing something bigger than yourself.
Exactly. And that really resonated with fans across the Arab world and the African diaspora. Seeing Morocco defy those expectations on the world stage, playing with such heart and determination. It was a source of immense pride.
Yeah, it's incredible to think about. The global viewing parties, the celebrations in the streets, the outpouring of support on social media really felt like the whole world was rallying behind Morocco.
It's true. And that energy undoubtedly fed back to those players. Imagine that boost they must have felt, knowing that millions of people were cheering them on, believing in their ability to make history.
Okay, speaking of history, let's rewind a bit and talk about their tactical approach, particularly their defense. I was just amazed by how they consistently frustrated some of the best attacking teams in the world.
It really was a masterclass in collective defending. They were incredibly well drilled, each player understanding their role and their responsibilities within that system. The term Gijim pressing comes to mind, aggressively pressing the opponent when possession is lost, forcing those mistakes, disrupting their rhythm.
Yeah, it seemed like every time an opposing player got the ball, there were 2 or 3 Moroccan players immediately closing them down. It was relentless.
And that's what made them so effective.
Yeah.
They weren't just relying on individual talent or athleticism. It was about that collective commitment to defending as a unit. It's a truly modern approach to the game.
And of course, you can't talk about Morocco's defense without mentioning Yassine Bounou again. His nickname Bono is catchy, but it was his performance that really captured the attention. The entire footballing world.
Oh, he was fantastic. He made some crucial saves, commanded his area with such authority, and his distribution was excellent, often launching quick counterattacks. He was a complete goalkeeper, and his confidence just seemed to spread throughout the entire team.
That's interesting you mentioned counterattacks, because that seemed to be a key part of their attacking strategy as well. They weren't afraid to sit back and absorb pressure, but they were also lightning fast on the break.
Exactly. They were incredibly dangerous in transition, using the pace and trickery of players like Ziyech and Hakimi to exploit those spaces left by opposing teams pushing forward.
It was like watching a perfectly executed game plan unfold. They were so disciplined and organized in defense, and then suddenly, bam, they were on the attack, creating those scoring chances out of seemingly nothing.
Yeah, and that tactical flexibility, that's what made them such a formidable opponent. They could adapt their approach based on the opposition, which is a testament to Reg Ruggi's coaching and the player's ability to execute his vision.
Their victory over Spain in the round of 16 was a perfect example of that. They soaked up pressure for large periods of the game, but then they hit Spain on the counterattack and won in a penalty shootout. It was a tactical masterclass.
And Hakimi's winning penalty, the one that sent them through to the quarterfinals, that was pure drama and emotion. You could just feel the weight of a nation on his shoulders.
Right.
But he stepped up and delivered with ice-cold composure.
And I read that he dedicated that penalty to the people of Palestine, which just added another layer of significance to that moment and really further cemented Morocco's place as a symbol of hope and unity.
Yeah, it's moments like that where sport just transcends borders and becomes a platform for those broader societal conversations that make this story so compelling.
It's clear that Morocco's journey at the 2022 World Cup, it was about so much more than just football. It was a cultural phenomenon that touched the lives of millions and left a lasting mark on the history of the sport. But what about the legacy of this team? What does their success mean for the future of Moroccan football?
Yeah, it feels like Morocco's success really ignited, like a new passion for the sport across the entire country.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can really feel it. This World Cup run, it was a catalyst for change, not just in terms of, results on the pitch, but in the development of football infrastructure. And youth programs?
Yeah, all the reports I've seen, they mention a surge in young players signing up for academies. And there's this renewed focus on building world-class training facilities. It's like planting a seed and watching it grow. Morocco's always had this strong footballing culture. But this success, it's unlocked a new level of ambition and investment.
Yeah, one quote that really stood out to me was from a spokesperson for the Moroccan Football Federation. And they said, "Our goal is to make Morocco a powerhouse in world football. We're investing in our youth and infrastructure to ensure long-term success."
It's a bold statement, but you can sense the determination. And it's not just about producing players for the national team. It's about using football as this tool for social development, for empowering communities, and creating opportunities for young people.
Yeah, it's fascinating to think about the ripple effect of this World Cup journey. It's like they've set this new standard, not just for Moroccan football, but for African football as a whole.
Right. There's this feeling like anything is possible now. Other African nations, they're looking at Morocco and saying, if they can do it, why not us? And that's a powerful message.
Yeah, imagine a future where African teams are consistently challenging for top honors at the World Cup. It's a dream. That suddenly feels a lot more attainable.
Totally. And it's not just about the football either. Morocco's success has put the country on the map. It's attracting tourism, investment, and cultural exchange.
It's a powerful reminder that sport can be a force for positive change, both within a nation and on a global scale.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Morocco's incredible World Cup story, I think the key takeaway is this. It was more than just a moment in time. It was a catalyst for a movement that has the potential to transform Moroccan football and inspire generations to come.
And I'm left wondering what lasting impact this will have on the global football landscape. Will we see a shift in power, with African teams becoming more dominant on the world stage? I don't know, what do you think? It's something to ponder as we
I
reflect.
have this incredible story of the Atlas Lions. Yeah, and that's the beauty of this kind of deep dive. We've uncovered insights, sparked new questions, and hopefully inspired you to continue exploring this story long after this episode ends.